Wodney Rat
by Ellen Lester. Poor Wodney Rat. His real name was Wodney Rat, but he couldn't pronounce his R's. To make matters worse, he was a rodent. A rodent.
What's your name, Wodney?
Asked the other rodents.
Wodney Rat,
Whispered Wodney. And what's another name for a bunny?
They asked knowingly.
Webbit.
He mumbled.
And how does a train travel?
They winked at each other.
The twin twelves on twin twelves.
Wodney replied miserably.
All this teasing, day in and day out, made Wodney the shyest kid in his elementary school.
His squeak could barely be heard in class.
And he gnawed his lunch all alone. And while everybody else scurried and scooted about at recess, Wodney hid in his jacket. Then one day, as the rodents were taking turns doing wheelies, a new rodent, a very large rodent, barged into the classroom and announced, "My name is Camilla Capybara. I'm bigger than you, I'm meaner than you, and I'm smarter than you." Then she added,
So there.
with that, she accidentally, on purpose, elbowed an ear, bumped her noses, stepped on 3 tails, and laid down on a desk. We're prickled in fear throughout the classroom.
She sure was bigger than any of them.
She sure looked meaner than any of them.
Was she smarter than any of them? What's 2 plus 2?
Asked Miss Billerud. 4, shouted Camilla Capybara without even bothering to raise a paw. And furthermore, 4 plus 4, 8. 8 plus 8, 16. 125 plus 243, 368. And later to a question of,
What is the capital of
New York, Albany, population 295,642. And later in science to an answer of a question of,
What part of a plant is below the ground?
Camilla Capybara danced on her desk and sang,
Rudy toot toot.
yep, thought all the other rodents.
She's smarter than we are too.
They felt very, very uncomfortable.
Every afternoon, before the final recess,
Mrs. Fuzzywick.
drew a name from her hat to see who would be the leader of their favorite game.
Simon says. She scrunched her eyes close and jiggled the hat. Would it be Hairy Hamster, Minnie Pete Mouse, Grizzleford's Guinea Pig, or could it be the mean and smart Camilla Capybara? She reached in and pulled out a name of
Wodney Rat.
The bell rang. There was a wild curtain in the door, and Camilla Capybara was the first one out on the playground. Having trampled everybody in her path, Wodney looked especially scary. To Wodney, Camilla looked especially scary. What would she do when she heard him speak? Dare Camilla Capybara breathe in his face? Or tie him up in his own tail?
Or even pounce on him.
The tiny trembling leader of the game stood before the eager players. His head was well inside his jacket and he squeaked.
Wodney says we decide.
What the other students read. P.S. 142 Elementary School for Rodents. Camilla began pulling up weeds around the sign, flinging them hither and yon till she was clean up to her feet in dirt.
The other rodents began to smile.
Wodney says whack your paws along your head.
Wodney peeked a little out of his jacket to see. Oh, whack, whack, whackity slap, slap. Camilla was wrapping her paws so hard she became dizzy, gave herself a headache,
And had to sit down.
The other rodents began to giggle.
Wodney says put a wing along the wosy.
Camilla put her arms out like wings and made an airplane noise.
But wait, where was the mosey? What was the mosey?
At this point, Wodney's head was entirely out of his jacket and his waist.
Wait the leaves.
Nobody moved.
Wodney says wake the leaves.
While Harry, Fanny Pig, and Grizzle all began raking leaves, Camilla Capybara grabbed one leaf and yelled,
Wake up!
she snatched another.
You too! Up, up, up!
And another.
Rise and shine!
And another.
Boo! By now, all the other rodents were squealing with laughter. Such bullies!
In a voice so strong he had to hold his own ears, Wodney called,
Wodney says go west.
while the other rodents clapped in a happy heap for a rest. Go west.
Camilla Capybara, feeling very smart that she could tell directions by the sun, decided she would go west. And west she stopped.
Forever.
She was gone.
And from that day on, the people of
P.S. 142 Elementary School for Rodents.
never teased Wodney again.
He was their hero.
Hooway for Wodney Rat, they cried.
Woo!